beautiful evening driving business, and today, but this is not entirely Ifris. The traders, hundreds of traders at Kolokaway, so Ugandans get to say that. Today is the 14th of May 2024, and we also have a lot of stories that are happening out there. We have been following something on allegations of corruption. We have allegedly that the president wrote a letter condemning from that 1.7 billion is also happening. We were here through the process. I did a survey today on my Twitter about the people who voted on. So what UBOS is still doing their job, and of course the government is making sure the efforts are pushed hard to make sure that we get the right number. That I trust themselves, right from the lady in the middle, the Iron Lady in economics and taxation.
Thank you so much, Noah. It's a pleasure having me again on this show. I'm super excited to share a platform with the people I admire, like Doctor with a PhD, the Noah importance. I pray for a lively and joyful show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Oliver. Yes, Doctor.
Yes, I am happy about to know that the economy to integrated and even where possible make sense, and our president. My names are Ivan Twinomwezi. I work with Uganda Management Institute in that area, so we shall be sharing with.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. RM is one of those many institutions.
Oh my God.
So which one is the other institution? There's a company that you run which is doing an amazing job.
Yeah, I'm a lady CEO with Clip Associates, a firm which deals with the layman and administration.
Thank you very much. And of course the viewers. On 8th of June. 7th of June. The president met with the traders from across the country to discuss the IFRIS and the implementation of IFRIS, which speech.
Thank you, Noah. Time 7 met with the traders of Kampala City Council and other neighboring cities like Mubende, Lugazi, on compliance. When I recall on our previous conversation, we said that there are no new taxes. The issue is about compliance and how URA is administering this new administration system. So when I talk about issues which were raised by the traders, you know, when the traders, when the private sector speaks, the economy is speaking. So they made their voice, but as meeting them,
you didn't say the major points.
I didn't see the major points which are affecting them. Because most of my clients complain about how we have something called TREP in Kampala.
Yes.
TREP, this is a system where URSB, UBOS, then URA, then also KCCA.
Yes.
So when someone comes to get a trading license, they register you as a company, which is good. Forge for you an email. They put all the tax heads from income tax, this type of taxes. So I expect a trader to speak such things to the president, this particular trader who is not even eligible for some tax heads like VAT. So I expect the traders to say such things. Then also the issue of the threshold. You know, VV source, I mean, what we've been saying about 150 millions. 150. Yeah. So I saw one of the leaders of the traders talking about increasing the threshold to 1 billion.
Yeah, that
went political. Actually,
yeah, we saw that.
The show, I call it a show. The meeting became political. He talked about industrialization, supporting the local farms. Then also digitalization, embracing technology. Should I call them suppliers, Doctor? Is this right? You go to Namanth, you should go to Kapeka, and those strikes, you never know, because if someone can business community, and to a person like me who's a Muganda, it's not allowed to address people like that.
Well, I would like to treat the issue of China funding as a theory and a speculation in terms of politics, in terms of influence penetrating through. You have talked about the trader that was talking about the threshold to being raised to 1 billion. Doctor, there's something I wanted to ask you, but before that, I think I would like your comment on that one. Is it something that you find reasonable for traders? Is it something that is going to change the way taxation is looked at by traders?
Yeah, I heard and I just listened to someone who raised that point that since they started that VAT issue where they had the threshold of 150 million, more than 10 years ago when they fixed that 150 billion, the person who supported it, who raised that concern billion, said that those who should be registered as and above. And the issue emerges from, and someone raised a point like, if for example, by then the exchange rate was something like lower than what it is today. So as the currency depreciates, you can easily know how the currency, whether the currency has depreciated or appreciated. If the exchange rate
3,900.
900.
Is it 900? Has it gone down or it has increased?
Yes. It is just whatever, even if you say it is $1 in terms of Ugandan shillings, just 3,008. The value of
152.
3,000
It has slightly gone low, but not much difference.
Yes. So you can see, even someone like someone doing a business in 150 million and below 1 billion, they are still having little money based on their transactions, because of doing international transactions than by then. By then it would, the 150 by then, 150 million by then, and the current 1 billion, they are almost in the same range. So raising the threshold for VAT, it is timely. It's now timely. They should raise it to allow this effectively.
Yes.
So I think we should not keep on insisting on a policy which have been taken over by time. It has been taken.
Find URA seeming to be too comfortable. They don't want to carry the big burden sometimes.
URA,
it's a burden.
It reduces the tax base. So many people will be below the tax, below that threshold of 1 billion, and they will not be able to pay VAT. So don't think, to me, I know it will not be adjusted, because we are fighting, we are trying to, the government is trying to look for a way.
Person handling taxes directly.
Yes.
I will leave the policy analyst for now. Hanifa.
Yes.
From a very, let's look at the current threshold that is ongoing of 150.
150 million in the 3 months.
Analyze these traders. What are they? Look into them. if I people with big entities by the level of
the type, the category of traders.
Yes, in that.
We cannot differentiate the traders right now, because the VAT Act doesn't give us that. So for it it says a taxable person to be eligible, a taxpayer to be eligible for VAT, they have to be with a sales of 150 million in the 3 months. 3 months, and in the face of the commissioner, they have to be able. You have to look like you are okay, and conditions have to be fulfilled to be registered for VAT. But what our good for VAT? So when the president was addressing this matter, we focused more on exports and imports. Currently, our balance in importing than exporting. For us, we export coffee, as the president said,
yes,
but we import carpets, humidifiers, we import clothes. Most of the things are done, are made in Uganda. So if our traders could As doctor said, is of foreign exchange gains or losses. Because sometimes the dollar may be low and I get profit. That's a gain. Will I declare to URA?
You won't.
You not. So
she has emphasized the issue of import substitution, and the president automatically mentioned that there is no way. First of all, it started from where one of the representatives of the trader suggested a reduction in import taxes are lower than what Uganda is. Our currencies among East African, our currency might be the lowest in terms of value.
It is.
Now,
apart from Sudan. Apart from Sudan.
We are justified to raise it in order. You know, when you convert it in the international currencies, you get at least what can allow you to do international transactions. You charge higher, but when the higher the tax, the higher the import duty, the more revenue you collect. But when you convert it into the international currencies, still those countries which are charging lower import duties will still, where we have the highest import duty, based on the other previous people who said so. The moment we try to reduce it, let's say to something like 20, reducing VAT 14, we are going to be doomed. First of all, we shall be able to get a budget shortfall. Revenue, what URA has been getting will be lower. And here it is a country which is fighting to mobilize and raise more tax revenue. So in that case, I support the president not come to the same level like East Africa. By the way, harmonizing the currency, harmonizing the tax rates in a country where, in countries which have different currencies with different strengths, is dangerous. You kill your economy. You put your economy to the dogs, it will be no more. So when the president, by insisting or by ignoring, he didn't mention, but he insisted that we are charging high taxes, import is textile. You are producing them. Then you are trying to discourage. You are not stopping them. There is no ban, remember. But you are using a tax. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Discouraging them, at the same time raising more money. So I do support the president not to make a mistake until Uganda stabilizes in a particular way. That's when you can adjust. Otherwise, our market will be taken away.
So I will say something now. As a journalist, of course, I'll stand on the side of it. Besides the taxation, besides making sure that we stabilize this, and besides thinking about the threshold and all that, and trying to put in the country of by Uganda, Bobo. And then also on the issues on the local manufacturers. Foreign manufacturers are given tax holiday, and Ugandans manufacturers and foreign investors. How shall we balance this? Much as we want to balance importation and try to limit and make sure that we protect the local products, how shall we balance if the local manufacturers are not getting tax holidays and foreign investors are getting
tax holidays and it's eligible? They get that land. So if you have the amount of money which is authorities, then you get these holidays, and Ugandans are protected because we have market. The good thing with Uganda, we have a free market economy. Countries, even if someone puts up a charcoal stove with maize, I'll come out from the street and I buy it and it goes.
Without, I don't know where he came from.
Exactly.
I've seen it the first time. I'll just buy it and eat.
We have a very good economy. Our economy is free.
That some tax exemptions, some other people are complaining. There is some kind of injustice.
Yes.
And all of them are just operating in the same marketplace, the same Ugandan economy as their market. Treatment of equals. If someone is a manufacturer, because someone raised the point that some of the people who were manufacturing textile, maybe they were not provided the same the way they give them to the foreign investors or foreign manufacturers, or the same treatment. I normally believe doing something that you want, like they're involved in import subsidy world. If an economy is weak, why do you give tax holidays and tax exemptions? If a person, you can say if you are not giving, provided they are in a priority areas which are in line with the goals of the economy, they should also be given those tax exemptions for a given period. But my argument is that I am not interested in the tax holiday.
Doctor, when we return, if the tax, you know, you have emphasized taxation, and I still want a comment on if actually the tax is effectively utilized there. These opinions are basically to advise and guide. We are not dictating on anything. We fully, and of course, helping traders, local traders, the lowest people there, tax returns and all that. Otherwise, I hope you are enjoying the show wherever you're watching from. You can be part of the show there. We'll see how we can check it and get to share it out. The conversation continues.
Smart 24, driving business.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda, the taste of Uganda, yeah,
Luxury redefined of the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, furnished to meet with your royalty to escape the glamorous odor. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate. Our chefs will serve you full course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to be celebrated beverages you will not lack for any brewer. Visit today at plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasan Hotels, luxury.
Crazy guy. I'm going to go crazy. Flavors of Africa.
Enjoy your favorite shows anywhere. Download DSTV Stream today.
Pay school fees with MTN Momo. Dial School Pay. Select Pay Fees. Enter the student's information and any outstanding balance. It's simple, secure, and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Economics, and of course with knowledge of politics. Doctor Doctor always shares this and says you cannot separate economy. You are enjoying the show, like I said, you can leave a comment on our Twitter handle. You can leave your comment and let us know suggestion on some of these things that are ongoing. Now, before we left, we were still talking about taxation. It's a major issue. It defines a lot of things. Right now, and the traders, I don't think, which Hanifa, who works with traders, and we know as Hanifa, some of these issues that may not have been addressed, do you think you can possibly highlight them and we have a conversation around them?
Yeah. The great notes. No, I want our audience to appreciate something called IFRS. So when you make a sale, when you issue a receipt in IFRS and it's a wrong receipt, you're supposed to counter it, I don't want to say reverse, to counter it with something, create what's called a credit note. This credit note is sent on a monthly basis to URA. So the officer in charge of IFRS has to approve, so that attracts a tax, VAT. And if it's not approved in time that it will be right to reduce on the sales, it's going to attract in which are not right. So if a trader issues a credit note, assuming in May, it's going to be replied in December. It's not real. Most pay me 2 million to reconcile for your ledger.
Your ledger.
Yeah. So
now someone with an investment of 5 million, how will he come to you?
So that is how perhaps it's on record. So I think traders, what the traders did address, it's back from URA. I think their staff, they sent someone. I don't want to say that there are senior 6 people. I don't want to say it. But if you say it's not eligible for VAT, I will not register that person. I will know. Come, Noah, give me your national ID.
You have not.
They don't know if even you are dealing in vertible goods. So at the end of the day, you find yourself with accumulated penalties. These things are stressful.
And you run out of business.
You run out of business. Actually, even there is some. She went up to URA. You come and close me.
When they come to you,
they come with authority. So the good thing, the officer was telling her, Madam, I'm not from Boulevard. You know Boulevard, I think it was given the mandate of collecting IFRIS. I'm not from Boulevard, I'm from Nakawa. Address me as for someone from Nakawa. Like, no, you people are the same. The president altered the penalties and fines. And on that same matter, what we are doing currently, I'm advising my trade.
Almost everyone
in Uganda. If you have a business and you are VAT registered, and you don't have 6M on your account, then I think they've not reached you. We are trying to do a penalty reversal as a process of objecting, but URA has not given us response. So this money is still showing on the taxpayers' team. So it's frustrating them. Yeah.
You know, sometimes I want to listen to issues and
you see now the URA should be halted for some time. So while the business community is now seeing it as a way of
temporarily
organizing their houses, putting their houses in order, where it is good, like particularly the SMEs or whatever. Whether you are a business person with a bigger phone is losing.
True.
Is losing. But winning. So me, I think by halting, we are frustrated. Everyone was just mentioning almost the same thing.
True.
I hope the president noted it. It was a concern.
Yes, it was.
And as I have said, it is important for a chief executive of the economy to listen to the citizens if there is any concern, because that concern can continue into protest, and once the economic base or once the tax base is affected greatly, even in the long term,
the president said one statement up to the Ugandans maybe who missed. He said, I am 80 years of age. And he said, and I'm about to go to heaven. That was a little bit of, I'm still thinking about going to heaven. Still rings in my head. I don't know how I'm 80 years of age, and I'm about for this, and doctor, I've been explaining why it's key for this tax to have. Still young and have more years ahead. You will be the ones to suffer if we do not plan and make this country better for you to live in, President Museveni said. Now, doctor.
Due to the context or interruption from the it was like a metaphor implying something, because one can see it see it as a metaphor in one way or the other. And at the same time, 80 years, when he says 80 years, there are many presidents who are like when someone says I'm 80 years, it means culturally. The message I'm telling you, I am like an elder. That's why he said 80 years. But one can analyze it. Anyone has it that he brought it from the context and he brought it from the point of view.
Is he trying to show to
what he added there, that you should be able to participate in building your economy? It implies that the tax is compulsory. You must pay in order to prepare for your future. Are you getting me?
Yes.
It's like he was saying indirectly, you need to contribute, and that yes, high taxes are dangerous.
They are dangerous.
They are dangerous. But
especially if they are not allocated effectively.
If they are not taxes in order to contribute the development of area, with the taxes have different funds delivered effectively. But you can
Omuzukuru is here from Jaja stage and then emphasize. But he has said, I am a. What did you pick from
last month?
Last month.
People who were in number them that me, you are saying that they are high. There's huge action. So that statement in you are 8% of it, where it will improve. It will, and I told you last time, VAT. So you injecting in this traders to strike. Want to when they buy from them. We have the lowest tax rates. Is on 20 and they take time. They don't just wait a lot of.
Is it still about? Do you think IFRIS is the
best system? Mr. Mwenda talked about is to the government. The one I
about and now I'm assuming and it is whereby now realistically other countries who are supposed to use it.
They are ready for the very well some concern. Being ignorant and even the SMEs, and you are entering like the input, then the difference will be that output. And in most cases, and your values, the lack of the other part from IFRIS.
Apart from IFRIS, yes, they are not here.
Even the president, but they noted that it minimizes the burden on our the infrastructure.
Some of those link then the charges. I'm sure it has happened to so many.
URA should take on even collecting funding. Those who are URA makes it harder.
Ugandans Facebook and Facebook is very complex. He's on TikTok. They even create and post. They are on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is also complex to use. They are on chronological manner that they have to educate the public, train them, and then go slow with them. I think we might be looking at the wrong side, and even the president somehow the URA is misadvising the president. I'm assuming might be a reality, because with the way you explain it, you realize that much as we believe that this system works, I think it has. And the meeting with the president and people attempted.
There is. So when trade comes from stock, when stock is input in a wrong way, I have a client who has bad stock, bad question. They're going to ask you, what is this stock? But Noah, who did social sciences, because he's the one I can afford. He entered this stock.
I want to cut you short. They show dialogue, as people have called it a meeting. I think a dialogue was more appropriate because that is what happened. We'll return after a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Smart 24, driving business.
Hello tech lovers, obviously getting to a bigger introduce to you what we call bases. You need to be at watch. For example, Mark Zuckerberg has already proclaimed his aim to one day ship a pair of smart glasses that does both but also still feels several generations away. Little benefit. Now, for comparison, Apple spent just over $150 million in research and development to invent about whether the $36 billion could on AI, and they have been working on AI for over a decade. So I think it's hard to quantify anything in that way. So following AI arms race against Microsoft and Google, I think We are just doing different things. That's what he mentioned. And he added that we are pretty comfortable with how we are progressing. Guys, alongside the Quest 3, Meta has also checked images, but they simply capture them. Now, 2 tiny cameras will be built in the chassis of the pair of Ray-Ban. You don't have to take your phone out to record. These smart glasses, ladies and gentlemen, they do not project images, but they rather capture them. Now, as I mentioned last month, saying that 90% of customers stopped using theirs shortly after the purchase. So microphone chips will be built also on the Ray-Ban glasses. Built-in speakers won't only be just there, but they will also be operating for your proposition for content creators, those who love to make family in mind. The spectacles now only shoot in portrait mode without the option of landscape. As someone who works in traditional TV news, I found it a shame to lose. Serial Instagrammers, serial TikTokers will appreciate the changes. Obviously, they will love these glasses, but whether the general public will or not remains to be seen. The built-in speakers situate the heavy tracks during your content creation. Now, to me, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very good one for those who love to do content creation, those who love to do live Instagram videos, live TikTok videos. It's an opportunity for you to actually grab yourself the smart glass. Have yourself a very good tech week. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for keeping it on Smart 24 TV. My name is Noah Opera. This is the economic agenda. Traders post-presidential dialogue is the conversation we're having today. What next for today's conversation gets a little bit of his address. We realize that the issue was far from being solved, and you know that very well that even that day so many things were not. You were saying something, but let's analyze. We have the government that has structures. First of all, in the we have the executive, we have where I happen to be. This now, we are seeing the president come in picture. You know, he addressed it, and what have sent over 50 letters to the prime minister.
Well, before we move to to the hierarchy of consultation, I'm sure and I think this really may be the different levels. Maybe Prime Minister.
They said 50 letters, over 50 letters.
But again, we have our Parliament. Why I'm interested in the Parliament, I normally see the Parliament from the perspective, like in public sector economics policies, who vote for tax policies. They are the Parliament. The traders were pointing to them for tax policies, paying for what the parliamentarians voted for. The wananchi,
the voters.
The voters, everyone pays an indirect tax. Then tax revenue. There are very few Ugandan politicians in the marketplace who votes for the tax policies, who pays for the taxes, and who uses or accesses easily the services, quality services from that revenue generated. Is there any direct relationship in Uganda? Think about that.
Yeah.
They access what? Services. So there is something like
without quality services.
It is a challenge why the Ugandans are now either, in Uganda we need autonomous in one way or the other, self-sustaining in nature, and we to make a decision in case they are considered.
The president.
There is a bandwagon. University, the students go to the president. They go to the universities, the vice chancellors go to them. So there is no complaint why these people, that's the bandwagon. Others want to be inside. By the way, since we are moving to elections, we the people, it is the pre-election 2026. Yes. This is the right chance for him.
So politically, it's also a good move.
And I have already told you, while emphasizing his program from the manifesto, even for the next for the next elections. So me, I don't see any reason. Those who are saying the president, For history repeats itself, and by the way, we normally say the past, the current, and the future could not go
to the
president. And the president also wanted development. He had that was the right time also to talk to the traders and hear from them and give them the word of wisdom and also learn from them. Moreover, he said consultations are continuing, and you don't think that the president stopped there.
Us, the journalists, we get to read some of, give them transport to talk to people. But now, us, the people, because everything ends at the president, the people that have ended up manipulating Ugandans, I'm going to take you to the president. It's also become business for me.
Yes.
The leaders.
Yeah, the leaders.
What politics happen?
Political goodwill.
Political goodwill. I want
needs goodwill. Everyone needs goodwill, even goodwill. So we praise the president for that. But then we also address this in terms of law. What does the law say? No, you've quoted that there are three branches of the government: executive, legislative,
enacted.
The taxes are minister. The minister of the cabinet has an add or subtract something. These laws come back to parliament, to the minister or the prime minister. But for this particular issue, it is the minister of finance. So when the minister brings this law, the minister of finance, planning, and the president meeting the traders, he's the rightful person of URA heads. Understand that? Yeah. So the president was doing his right. He was exercising his mandate as the head of the executive, and we know his direct input. Okay, his direct involvement with the traders is going to give. He's going to give a direct of the traders. Previously, he has been getting this information ground crude, which helps him as a person to make an informed and educated decision.
Considering this approach, Doctor, do you think we will have traders in the next? Do you think we are able to have these issues addressed without involving the president, who is a very busy person for that matter? Because I am sure there are lots of things that need to be addressed. There, we have executive directors now of the traders. We have the executive director of you. Tomorrow, the traders can actually the president from the State House. Despite your concern of, it's a political season, he may need to do that.
I think other than this meeting, the traders at Kororo, I think it is now a lesson to all other
meetings,
other institutions, and the strategy to learn, to listen and address developers. And listen,
because I saw one was shaking with the microphone.
And the lead Ifris of Boulevard.
Yes. So when once the president meets him, I think they will be responding. The response rate and the ability to address the concerns of the business community will now be higher. Will be written to as to why they did not handle X, Y, Z. But this time, I am optimistic, and I'm sure in the future they will be handling in a better way. They will be able to explore other alternatives other than communicating online and whatnot.
Yes.
I think
we have talked about how tax is being spent and why the taxpayer feels it's a burden, and why they feel unappreciated and they are complaining and grumbling. The government institutions, the ministries, some of the most
it's a brand.
Best salary driving at least a good car. So
that is the danger. That's the danger.
Yeah.
You need to know. Once if you study the economics of a monopolist in doing something, once you are a monopolist, and you are the only one responsible for doing that, you tend to.
So let me finish this before they think that I am against people's salaries.
Yes.
So you see, with all this good facilitation, we should expect extra efforts and making sure that the head of state is not burdened.
Yes.
Because he has all these cabinets. I'm sure there are issues that has to listen to from the judiciary. The judiciary, first of all, has a backlog of cases, and they have all this facilitation, well facilitated jobs that they have. Can't they handle these issues without dragging the president into it?
First of all, we are in a state of economic depression. So we have limited government expenditure. So currently we don't have money because of issues of tax avoidance, tax other issues and other foreign issues. You know what's happening in the country. So we have some entities like URA is trying to do. They are already frustrated population. So I cannot comment. Moment is depressed. We have high interest rates. We have low consumptions. So you cannot start milking a cow which didn't give milk, which means
doctor, this is where I want to bring you to something. You, currently, when you talk about the economy being sick, some of the interests that we can talk about are loan interests.
Yes.
All these SM to sustain their businesses
from money lenders.
The interest is so high. While we are addressing something that doctor has actually advised that it can be done very well and effectively without breaking anyone, we are spending time on that when we should be debating on the issues of interest.
Yeah.
And I want a comment from how effectively can they help?
I think at times she has raised that the economy or some kind of
distress.
And that's why the government at times it has cut expenditures, budgetary allocation for different ministries. It has cut and reduced for this particular quarter. Some ministries have not or investigated why URA is not doing to her expectation. It is also URA to achieve her expectations or her goals within a short period of time. One, there could be a silent or hidden problem as far as potential skilled manpower is concerned. Are you getting me?
Yes.
You shouldn't getting me. At the same time, the ethics of handling the human race, particularly the business people, how ethical are they? I have talked about skills. Not necessarily being a graduate, we need skills. We need the ethical approaches, and this is the manpower too technical to do the work without creating protests.
Oh yes.
There is a problem in URA. You need experiences in revenue administration, tax administration. There is a problem, but we may not know. Whenever you go there, and I want to see URA being a one-stop center where you go and all the problems are solved. That's what I need. And that capacity, the economy Uganda government should inject a lot in manpower development and capacity building.
My producer to give at least 1 minute to you.
What I want to mention is that we should analyze our population. Our population, so when they are doing their tax administration, care must be taken, and above all, they should not ignore the other principles and economies of taxation, of fairness, mainly fairness, and even being transparent, where another importer of the same thing.
Yes.
Above all, this kind of a one-on-one discussion here.
Where is going to get us?
We hear from them. We hear from them. Otherwise, they are doing a lot of jobs, and I would encourage
collectively, Madam Hanifa.
I want to thank issues of national importance. Then I also want to thank the president for. I want to advise them that next time they should. Then also I want to advise Ugandans to. Says you don't see people like us talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You know, the president is meeting with also we have highlighted on how, you know, different just thinking about, you know, let's call the president to do this, their work. I always have a good time whenever I have these two busy schedule. And Hanifa, thank you very much for sparing time from your busy schedule to make sure that you are here to see how we can highlight on where people 24 TV. My name is Noah Wapera. and this for more programs, and have a wonderful night. I'll see you next week.
Getting to a bigger, introduce to you what we call